Warriors, I figured it out. I figured it out today. I wanted to come to you on this holiday weekend. Happy Passover, happy Easter, happy whatever holiday that you do celebrate. And fill you in about a couple of things. Spring, Easter, Passover, time for renewal, time for family, time to get together. I want all of us to make the commitment to renew our commitment to protect our children online. I cannot say this enough. I will say it 24/7, 365. We must renew our commitment to protect our kids online. There is a war on for our children. Now, I wanted to share with you, I was out and about today as we have opened up. I'm taking a lot of meetings for the Warriors, and it was very invigorating. I was actually in the state of New Jersey, my home state, and it was just a wonderful day of positive reception, of brainstorming, of sharing what I do and what I'd like to do with all of you, with the public. And also, I figured it out that if one wants to get elected to office, they really need to have on their platform digital safety, online safety, internet safety. That's it. Nobody is really talking about this. Running for office, yeah, maybe a couple in office are discussing certain things they're working on, and they certainly are, because we're working on many different acts in Congress to keep our kids safe. But in the meantime, those who want to seek a seat, an office, that's it. All they have to do, you know what? Because people are overwhelmed. People don't want to hear about gas anymore. We all know everything's bad. We know food prices are up. We know everything going on, taxes. So you know the platform to win? Our kids' safety. It is a bipartisan issue that everybody can get behind, that everybody can endorse, that parents will say, and grandparents and concerned citizens, aha, yes, let's talk about that. They don't want to hear. We got to get people to the polls. We got to get people to vote on the right agendas, protections of our children. This is the winning strategy that you present to your constituents, for those who want to vote for you. We're going to protect you and your families first, children first, internet safety. So I went around New Jersey and did that today. And you know what? Very well received. So stay tuned. We'll be announcing Warrior workshops. We'll be announcing some other live events. And that reminds me that May 12th, if you're here in New York, please, please, please consider coming to Lifeway Network at the beautiful University Club, 54th and 5th Avenue. Lifeway is near and dear to my heart. Lifewaynetwork.org is the website. And Lifeway has 2 safe houses for survivors. They are the model for success for dealing with human trafficking and for creating happiness, creating reclaiming lives, creating economic empowerment. It is the model that works. The Warriors is partnered with Lifeway Network, and I wouldn't be partnered with them if this did not work. This is boots on the ground. This is the model for success that needs to be replicated all over our country. So you can find more information about ticketing, volunteering, donating. Find it in your heart. I'm urging all of you, lifewaynetwork.org. Certainly, always linswarriors.org as well. Let's get back to our renewing our commitment to protect our children online. That's the platform, Warriors. There's nothing else. We've got to protect our kids, youth. Again, let me give you a couple of resources. You are going to go to BARK, BARKUS, book.us. BARK is one of my favorites. Please read. Actually, I just retweeted it because it came out last year. Information is still good. A couple of different things. First of all, get familiar with what's going on online. And your best main source for that is childhood2movie.com. It is a documentary. It is free, childhood2movie.com. Watch the trailer. And I know if you watch the trailer, you'll watch the entire documentary. The trailer is maybe 2.5 minutes, 2:40, And then the documentaries, I don't know, 30 to 40 minutes. Along with that comes a digital handbook, free to download. So important and free. You got to know what's happening. I want you to also look at Bark. Look at one of my tweets at Lynn's Warriors. Emoji slang and just emoji language. The kids are using emojis to represent drugs, sex acts, sexual talk, among other things. And don't be scared, warriors, because as I explained today to all the adults in my multiple meetings, it's 2022. We're entering Web 3.0, metaverses. These are our children, our future. Let's take it back. Let's get at the forefront. We don't have time to waste anymore. We've got to get on top of all of this. The internet is not going away. We're going to leverage it for good. And we're just going to talk to the kids and start communicating. So we're going to be doing a lot also with teens, with the warriors. So I'm very excited about that because peer-to-peer, that's what counts. Because remember, you can do everything right with your child. You certainly can't watch them 24/7. And this is not about blaming parents or kids. No, parents and kids need help. That's it. And I don't feel like there's anybody out there really, really helping them. Or I feel like it's so expensive to do certain things. Parents just can't do it with the kids. So you know what? We're going to start with the warriors and we're going to win. That's why we're warriors. And you're going to start reading things I put on Facebook, on Twitter. Go to linswarriors.org. You're going to start figuring out what you can do in your home and your community to intervene and prevent new victims and hopefully not your child. Because warriors, what I'm hearing is coming in the very near future. You got to run for the hills, but we're not going to do that. We're going to take back our families and our country and work on this issue together. So I'll be working with some officials. I'll say people who want to run for office, people who will be running for office to get this on their platform, because this is it. This is the thing that'll get attention. Because you know what, warriors, I could sit here all night and rattle off stats, studies. This boils down to a national security threat, digital safety, the overburdened healthcare system in the United States, hand in hand. So I want you to do a little homework. It's a holiday weekend. First, I want to thank everybody for joining the Warriors, for joining the YouTube channel, for taking action, for listening to me. I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't a passion and a calling and so urgent. I have the strength to help all of you. I know it's hard and there's so much going on. It's almost the last thing you can think about. But you know what? A couple of safety tips, a couple of things to read, and you're winning. And the warriors are winners, right? So go to that BARK, BARK.us. They also put out a terrific study for the year 2021 that gives you the online landscape, what kids are doing online. Just read some of the stats. It's completely frightening. Lately, there's been a little bit more in the media. I'm anti-media, even though I'm part of the media technically, but I'm the good media that spreads truths and facts and wants to help people, that our youth mental health is in crisis. Now, if you've been listening to me, you already know this, okay? And of course, the last 2 years created a tremendous, more of a crisis in all of this. So we want to keep an eye on the kids. They're isolated. They're on their devices. They're next to a friend next to them. They're both on the phones and they're communicating. But you know all this. You don't need me to tell you all this. So we're going to get it. We're going to get a hold of all this, right? Warriors in 2022, and we're going to forge ahead. And we're going to start talking to the kids, and we're going to start asking them simple questions. You know, the average child, 9 to 17, has 29 apps on their phones. Children are spending up to the average. Well, you'll watch childhood2movie.com and see, but we have children spending 9 hours a day online. Remember, wherever the kids are, so are the predators. So you know where I'm going with all of this, warriors. Can you imagine 9 hours a day, school, sleeping, eating, whatever else you're doing? Can't have it. It's Easter weekend. It's family time. Renewal, spring, Do I sound hokey? I don't care. Flowers are blooming, birds are singing. It was beautiful yesterday in New York and today in New York and New Jersey, where I was, with all the trees and just renewal. We have to renew our commitment right now that we are not going to accept this. We are not going to accept what's happening with our elected officials. We're going to contact them appropriately, house.gov, senate.gov, and say we want more protection for our children online. We're going to back new officials running for office that want this at the forefront of their platforms, because this is the number one issue right now. Human trafficking, sexual exploitation of our children is the number one crime in America. You're not going to hear that in a lot of places. Remember, I work with law enforcement. This trafficking of our children, and remember, an image online, a dialogue online, inappropriate, sexual in nature, is a form of human trafficking that remains there forever and will just brutalize and torment that child, that person forever. Because once it's out there, even if you take it down. One of the biggest misconceptions when kids say to me, but I took it down. Or they think it's on TikTok and disappears. Nothing disappears. It's been captured, shared, loaded onto some porn site. So you know what? We all know this is horrific, but now we're going to take action. We are going to become the leaders, because you know what? We are warriors.